Hi, my name is Dr. Kerry Tapuzian, and you're watching Ask Dr. T. Today's question is, how do I get the lead out? AKA, how do I get rid of heavy metals like lead, mercury, arsenic out of my body? Well, the best way to do that is through chelation. And chelation comes from a word called chelios, which is a Greek word that means claw. And so basically these chelating agents that you use go into your body, grab heavy metals, and drag their sorry ass out of your body. Can't believe I just said that. I gotta stop drinking beer before I do these videos. Anyways, also as a side note, Chris Chelios, if you're a Red Wings fan, his name also stems from this too. Just a little FYI. So, how do you test to see if you have heavy metals like lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium in your body? Well, there's a few ways. One way is you can do a blood test. The problem with the blood test is that it'll only tell you if you've got an ongoing exposure or if you were exposed that day or the day before. It doesn't tell you if you've got heavy metals from a month ago or a year ago. Okay, so it's not the greatest test in the world. Another way that you can test is through hair analysis, where you cut some of your hair, send it in to be analyzed, and they'll tell you if there's any heavy metals in your hair. The problem with hair analysis is that it's a 3-month window, okay, where you would have had to have been exposed during that 3 months of time for the test to come back positive. There's another problem. The other problem is that if you're not a good detoxifier and if your body's not getting rid of heavy metals like lead, your hair analysis will come back normal. One way that you can tell if you do end up doing a hair analysis is that if your mercury levels come back normal, chances are you're not detoxifying well and getting rid of metals, because everybody should have some mercury coming out of their body. If you eat 2 fish meals a month, you should have some mercury in your hair, okay? It's still not a bad test, but there are better tests. And my favorite test is called a urine provocation or a urine challenge test, where you take a couple of chelating agents first and then you collect urine for anywhere from 6 to 24 hours afterwards. This way you can actually see what's coming out of your body, what the chelating agents are grabbing onto and getting rid of. It doesn't tell you the total amount of metal that's in your body, but it gives you an idea of what's actually coming out. Okay, so next, let's talk about treatment a little bit. The way that you will treat heavy metals or get them out of your body, again, is through chelation. And there's a few different ways of doing this. First, I just want to mention that some people feel that chlorella, green algae, charcoal, bentonite, clay are all chelating agents. And they're not really technically chelating agents. They do pull metals out of your body, but they'll only pull metals out of your body that are, like if you've got an ongoing exposure, like, oh my God, I just got exposed to lead yesterday, then if you take those agents, it'll work. But if you're trying to get rid of metals from like a year ago, 10 years ago, chlorella, bentonite, clay, charcoal, they really won't work. They won't do that. They're really good for mopping up things that are going on at present, but they're not good for taking out past metals. You really have to use chelating agents such as DMPS or DMSO. You really have to use chelating agents like DMPS or EDTA. Now, these two agents, usually you have to get these at either a compounding pharmacy or from your physician. Both of these agents can be used intravenously, IV, in a vein. They can also be used as a rectal suppository. Not necessarily a lot of fun, but it's a good way of doing it. You can also use it transdermally on your skin, and for children, that's probably one of the best ways of using it, because those previous two ways, they don't like too much. you can't really take them by mouth. DMPS and EDTA, they don't really work very well. You don't get very good absorption. There is a chelating agent called DMSA, which is by prescription only, that can be used by mouth. Again, it's a prescription. You would have to get that from your physician. So again, if you're trying to find a physician that takes care of this kind of problem, you can try to contact a local compounding pharmacy in your area. Just Google compounding pharmacy near me and you should be able to find one. There's also some other supplements that are helpful in chelation. I like a company called Metagenics. There's a lot of companies that have some really good products, so I'm not necessarily saying that these are better than any other company, but I've had experience using these. What I do is I use one of their products called MetalloClear, 3 tablets a day. Also, I combine that with Ultra Clear Renew, 2 scoops a day, and also lipoic acid, about 600 milligrams a day. These are, if you will, mild chelating agents, and you would use these over a fairly long period of time to get metals out of your system. So that makes me think of another question you may be asking, which is, how long do I have to chelate for? Well, it just depends. I mean, it's hard to say how much is in your system, how well these different agents will work, but patients will chelate anywhere from 6 months up to 2 years, maybe even longer. I personally chelate all the time. I plan on chelating for the rest of my life because I and you do not live in a pristine environment. So we're constantly being bombarded with heavy metals and other toxins. I feel that you have to detoxify on a regular basis. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do this every day. And as a matter of fact, I recommend that you chelate for maybe 3 days to a week and take a break. And there's a reason behind this madness. And there's a reason behind this. And I'm going to tell you a little story. If you've ever painted a room, and after you're done, you took that tooth, and if you've taken that paintbrush and if you put it under the water to clean it off, you get a huge amount of paint that'll initially come out. Then it slows down and you just get a little dribble, okay? Hardly any paint. You take that paintbrush, you put it off to the side, and if you wait 5 minutes, and you bring it back and you put it underneath the water again, what happens? Well, you get this huge amount of paint that comes out again. That's called diffusion, okay? Same thing happens with metals in your body. You pull out so much metals, okay, and then it starts to redistribute throughout your body. So you're better off chelating for maybe 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, take a break for a week, let those metals redistribute throughout your body, then do it again, okay? Get the best bang for your buck. Okay, any questions out there? Oh, well, if you do have any questions, you can email me at askdrt@gmail.com. You can also call our office if you're interested in making an appointment, 248-302-0473. My name is Dr. Kerry Topouzian, and you've been watching Ask Dr. T.